Hey everyone, welcome back to the garden. It's a beautiful fall morning. So I just want to do a quick walk around and look at some plants that provide beautiful fall interest. So come garden with us. And let's talk about what is looking great in the garden in the middle of October. This is going to be all about the plants. You're not going to see us at all. Hope you enjoy. I don't usually come out into the garden at this time in the morning. It's before 8:30. I'm not a morning person, not gonna lie to you, but the light in October in the morning and in the evenings is what I like to call glowy. So it's the best time to get out and just take a look around the garden. And today especially, let's talk about some plants for fall interest. You know, we all love to talk about plants that have beautiful flowers. They provide gorgeous interest in the summer garden and in the fall. I mean, obviously the incredible hydrangeas, but look at the Eye Sumac. They just glow. I've posted recently on TikTok and Instagram about this. It's a pretty unassuming plant all summer. And then at this time of the year, it just starts to set itself alight and glows. I mean, it really does, especially this one in front. I'm not sure why they're kind of going into their fall colors at different times, but absolutely incredible. And I've talked about this before. This plant, well, there's 3 of them here. This one has grown the most. It's gotten quite tall. First of all, they do sucker incredibly, a lot. Unlike what we have been told by proven winners on the tag and on their website, these are not supposed to sucker nearly as much as the straight species, but they do. We've already cut a lot of suckers out of the ground for these. If any of you watch Garden Answer, you know she had 3 of these out in her south garden. She moved them, or she removed some of the suckers and put them in one of their new gardens. She just, this year, I think, removed all of them because they just sucker terribly and they end up taking everything over. I've also said these are just in a holding location here on our rain garden berm. They are meant to go in our meadow. I don't even know if I want to put them up there now because I don't want them completely overtaking the meadow flowers and shading them all out. So next year, we'll see. I mean, they are beautiful. Again, stunning fall plant. I feel like they would be even more stunning in the meadow because they'll get more sun up there at all times of the year, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Arctic sun dogwoods get really pretty yellow foliage in the fall as well. And you can see a little bit of color there too, a little bit of orange, but they're mostly yellow in the fall. The twigs are corally orange yellow in the winter. I feel like they probably should have been coppiced. This is only I think this is like their 3rd full year, and I feel like we're not going to get the color this year because we have never really pruned them back hard. Like you can see the branches in there and they're not really very colorful. But they would be, I guess, had we cut them back. So I guess that's something we're going to have to do this spring. Coppice them pretty hard so that we can get gorgeous winter color from them. Of course, the 9-barks, the ginger one, they always have beautiful color, especially when the sun glows through them like it is right there. I think last fall I talked about grasses in the garden and how they get their beautiful seed heads. These are one of the Panicum grasses that we transplanted. These were our Cloud 9s that we transplanted and we divided. Just such a pretty fall combination. The seed heads of the fireworks goldenrod with the seed heads and blooms of the Panicum. And I don't know if you can see the little round heads of the buttonbush blooms. See if I can zoom in on that. See those? Spent blooms of the buttonbush, just little round seed heads. All of this just combines to make beautiful trios or duos in your garden for fall. It doesn't have to be all about flowers anymore in fall. It's really about spent blooms, seed heads, panicles. Let's take a look at some of these Joe Pye weed, which are definitely done blooming, but again, when the light catches them from behind, I kind of want to get that, but that light is harsh right now. And these are quite far from our house, but I can see these. They're so tall. They're taller than I am. And again, we have another Panicum Cloud 9 in front of those. So it's another really pretty combination against the Ilex opaca. Now this Panicum, in time, will get quite large, which will be nice because it will fill in this whole spot. The Cloud 9 Panicum are one of the largest Panicum grasses you can get. That's why we divided them and transplanted them. They were too big for the location they were in. I would say they get about 7-8 feet tall, but almost as wide. Again, it will fill in this spot nicely and provide some shade for some of the smaller grasses we have in there. Something I've started adding recently is more witch hazels. We have 2 little prospect witch hazels up here, and the reason why I chose these, I think you can tell, is because of the variegated foliage. So it's not just green. There's a lot of green up here at the moment. But when we have 2 of them here, when they get bigger, they're going to be a real bright spot, even in the summer, because their foliage is variegated all season long. This one's actually got a bloom on it. That's another reason why we plant witch hazels, is because they can bloom from late fall through early spring, when in colder gardens not a heck of a lot is blooming, obviously in the winter. Here is our second flamethrower red bud. I didn't show you the first one. It's kind of going into full dormancy, but you can see the beautiful new foliage. It looks like this all season long when the new foliage is bright red, but it's great for fall as well for that reason. Let's just head back down and see the rain garden from a different view, and you can see the beautiful sunlight illuminating all of the plants through there. There's a lot of Joe Pye weed on the back side. We transplanted a lot of that up here. I think it was last year, and they really took off. We didn't provide a lot of anything for them either. You know, just a couple of waterings. Now we did get a lot more rain last year than we've gotten this year, but they have done quite well and will provide a nice backdrop. I think they'll get even taller than that next year. Standing in the rain garden now, where we have 2 berry heavy gold Ilex verticillata planted. And again, for fall interest, you have beautiful gold berries on this one. And they'll persist when the leaves drop, and then the birds will eat them. So killing 2 birds with 1 stone there, so to speak. Fall interest and food for wildlife. I did not plant any of these large trees on our property. They were here, but that is an immense maple. Just look at the top. It's kind of nice to be able to find a property with existing large trees that you don't have to worry about that yourself, because it can take quite a while to achieve a nice grove if you have to do that all yourself. Here's another Ilex verticillata. This one is called Berry Poppins. This one definitely has more berries on it than the Berry Heavy Gold. It's just an incredible amount of berries. Someone came into the garden center yesterday and wanted to buy one of these so that she could use it for her cut flower arrangements and her wreath making, which is a great idea if you don't want to have to buy berries. For my garden, these berries will not last very long because I said previously the birds will eat these before we even get to winter. This is dllcodiac orange. Now, it does not turn brilliant orange for us because We do not have it planted in full sun, but it still gets pretty shades of yellow and russet and some orange. We have 3 of them planted here. Kind of even thought about moving these someplace to full sun so that we can actually get the full show in the fall. Even in the summer, when the new foliage is supposed to be orange. So we'll see. That'll be another next year project. Chokeberries tend to go yellow and lose their leaves early on. They do provide a little bit of early fall color. And they're really supposed to get berries. I'm not sure I've ever really seen too many berries, though, on our chokeberries. Every once in a while. And then, of course, you have the dried flower heads of the quickfire hydrangea standards. They did not get brilliant red this year like they normally do. And I'm guessing it's because of the drought. A lot of our plants are behaving differently this year than they have in previous years because of the lack of rain. But they still do provide pretty fall interest. I think I showed these previously just recently in a garden video. I can't remember which one, but these are little Henryia. They do get pretty maroon and red colored foliage in the fall. There's 5 of them planted here. It is really pretty to look at. There's a new one of these out called, I believe it's called Visions of Rouge. We have them in at the garden center, and I think I'm going to get just one to plant up in our shade bed. It is incredibly gorgeous. It is just covered. It has not dropped its leaves yet. It's in the container still, but it is absolutely full of these gorgeous maroon leaves. I'd love to put that up in our seating area where we pulled the Invincible lace out of earlier this season. We lost a summer sweet up there. I think the Itea will be able to handle the wetness in the winter and the dryness in the summer if we have another really dry summer. And it's just a gorgeous plant. Hopefully it goes on sale soon and I can pick one up. And then you can see the seed heads again of the miscanthus grass there. And a little bit of the oak leaf hydrangea dried seed heads. I think you can see them poking through the foliage. Let's just take a quick look at the lemon squeeze pennisetum, because the seed heads on this grass and its growth habit is just so strong, so upright. It's really a beautiful grass all season long, but especially in the fall when it shows off with these fluffy bunny tail seed heads. And I love it up against the limericky hydrangea with its blooms. We'll leave these standing all winter. Limericky, you can cut back. It's a smooth hydrangea, so you can cut it back at any time. We like to leave it. I mean, all hydrangeas will provide some winter interest if you leave them standing. And if you have any knockout roses planted in full sun, even in mid-October, of course, depending on what zone you're in, you will continue to get blooms. I don't do anything to this rose. I don't deadhead it. Don't fertilize it. I really don't do anything. And it probably could look better if I took care of it. Oh, there's a bird nest in there. But it's still blooming on October 15th. See if we can get a look at that bird's nest. I never noticed that in there before. St. John's wort can provide season-long interest as well. They start to berry up pretty early in the season. They start kind of like greenish yellow, and then you get these pretty orange, corally pink berries. If I can find one that's a little bit more shaded. And they have a really long bloom season because they're putting on new flowers still. This is a floral berry Pinot by Monrovia. Planted this last year, and I kind of lamented that I did not get more of them. I did see them in one particular Lowe's in my area this year. Again, I should have bought some more, but we're kind of done planting for the season. Hopefully I can find some next year because they really do provide gorgeous color all season long. Let's just take a look at the Fathergill here on the west side. You can see the beautiful red and orange foliage, yellow as well. Another great plant for fall interest in its leaf color. These are Dwarf Fathergill, so they don't get too large. Some Fathergill, like the blue shadows we have at the top of the property, can get quite large. These always stay under 5 feet tall. I would say about 3 feet wide each, so easy to tuck into smaller garden spaces. And another plant for gorgeous fall color is Amonia. There's several different varieties of Amonia on the market. I believe this is just the Blue Star, and it does turn pretty shades of kind of russet and yellow. Again, depending on the weather, you can get some reds if you've had enough rain during the season. And of course you can see the beautiful Panicle seed heads over there of the Firelight Tidbit. They did go brilliant red and pink this season, unlike the Quickfire. So gorgeous color there. I think lastly I want to talk about the Midnight Sun Weigelas. Let's go over there. We planted them last year. And I honestly did not buy them for fall color. I bought them for their just all season long color. But you can see they're kind of like beautiful maroon. And some more Firelight Tidbits back there. These provide seasonal color all season from spring through fall. You will occasionally get a bloom in summer. Ours unfortunately seem to get nipped off by deer. But they do provide season-long interest, not just with their foliage, but with some blooms. And again, let's take a look at these. A couple more Firelight Tidbit here. Just incredible bloom color on those. So I'm going to end the video here, guys. Just a quick look at some of the plants we have in our garden to provide some pretty fall interest. And I think as we're coming over into our backyard from the path, you can see the seed heads. They're going a little bit dry now of the sedum. And the backdrop of the oak leaf hydrangea, again, providing some gorgeous fall interest. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that you get some ideas of plants that you can put into your gardens to carry you from summer through fall, and in some cases even through winter. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Bye.